punches and pinfalls, a historical ride beyond the ropes with nothing to hide.
Wow, we actually got fancy. We got an intro.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not like one of those CapCut intros. I love it.
It's like we're a real podcast or something.
We're a real podcast?
Well, we are now. We got an intro that's cool.
Oh, geez. It's easy. It feels like forever since we've done this.
I know.
But welcome to the Joe Monroe Show. I am one of your hosts, Joe Monroe. Here with me, as always, the only wizard in podcasting, real wizard in podcasting, who is certified and has a hat, the wizard CZ.
What's going on, my friend?
I can't complain, man. So what do we got going on tonight, sir?
Oh, we got plenty going on. We're going to talk some history. We're going to talk some modern day stuff. I'm going to quiz you on my top 10 of the Intercontinental Champions.
Oh,
Which, I'll be honest, any kind of list that I make could change like in a week, depending on my mood. Like, that's why I don't do Mount Rushmores. But yeah. I gave a lot of thought to this list. Yeah, I know you were surprised how quickly I put it together, but I did give it a lot of thought. And I'm excited for you to kind of figure out who's on it.
You know, that's the thing. Let's stop and talk about that for a second. Whenever you do those lists, because I have that issue too. Like, mine changes almost hourly. Because you say something, and you're like, well, hold on, time out. No, I don't know about that. That don't sound right. No, let me change my answer real quick. That's how I am with lists too. So do not feel bad.
I mean, Nick and I on Card Subject to Change early on, we did a Mount Rushmore of tag teams, and I don't think I could put the same 4 tag teams on it today.
Same. I know our good friends at Till 5 Wrestling, they have they do like a tournament, and it's hard. Like, you're like, okay, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
So, all right. So what are we doing first, buddy?
Well, we're going to talk a little history. I think we're going to talk about. I know we're going into an era where we're talking about wrestling dynasties, wrestling families. So we're going to run down the Guerreros a little bit.
Ooh, the Guerreros. What's your knowledge of the Guerreros so far?
I have a little knowledge. Mostly my knowledge is, I'm familiar with Gory. I'm familiar with Chavo Classic, as they called him in WWE. But mostly I'm familiar with Eddie and Chavo Jr.
Yeah.
A little bit of Hector, who poor Hector having to wear that god-awful turkey suit.
Gobbledygooker.
Oh, man.
He said he actually had fun with that.
I mean, he got to dance in the ring with Mean Gene, so that seems fun. I would do that.
Well, it all started, like you said, Gory Guerrero. Did you know that he was one of the early pioneers for Mexican Lucha Libre? Not only that, he's actually been credited as inventing not the Iron Sheik, but Gory Guerrero is credited to invent the camel clutch.
Really? I did not know that.
Yes, it was him it was a variation of it. But if you notice, all Guerreros, if you go back and look at Eddie and Chavo especially, that's one move that they always have, and that's kind of like a family move. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I completely forgot about that when researching.
That's awesome. That's a great fact for everybody to latch onto that. And, thinking about it, yeah, you do see them in their matches use that often. That's really cool.
Yeah, because I remember, who was it? I think it was Muhammad Hassan when he was talking about the camel clutch, and Eddie was ribbing him like, hey, my grandfather invented that move. And he goes, nah, you can use it. You're good. but yeah, you had we'll go down the list here. You had Gory, then Chavo Senior, aka Chavo Classic, which is genius on WWE's part, calling him Chavo Classic, which then Chavo Junior, whose favorite wrestler was Eddie Guerrero at one point in time in WCW. What was his name? It was the Misfits. Was it Misfits? Was that group name he was in WCW that had Hugh Morris and oh god,
yes, and
who else was in it? Oh gosh,
I know there was Lash LaRue.
Lash LaRue, that's who else I was thinking of.
Hugh Morris.
But they had different names or something. Was it Lieutenant Loco? Was that Chavo's name?
I believe that is. I'm gonna find out in just a second here.
Okay, because I remember that, like, growing up watching it live, I was like, he's Chavo Guerrero Jr. Why are they changing his name? So
Lieutenant
it was
Loco.
Okay. Well, then, you had the second born, Mondo Guerrero, who started pro wrestling in 1971, but he mainly wrestled notably in California and with the AWA from the 70s into the 80s. So that's cool. Hector Guerrero, we mentioned him, the Godly Gooker. Then he's actually working as a commentator for TNA as the Spanish commentator.
Probably his best work.
Yes, absolutely, and helped did a little storyline with the LAX.
I remember that.
You remember that? Yeah, bringing down memory lane a little bit there, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Then of course, the one and only Eddie Guerrero. Come on, I can't do a shimmy like him, but who didn't love Eddie Guerrero, man? Growing up, he made you hate him when he was a heel, and he made you love him when he was a babyface.
Yeah. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, right?
Exactly. But he's a good example of that, though, man. Think about it, because that's kind of hard to do in wrestling. That's something, because I said it before time and time again, the wrestler is an attraction within themselves. And Eddie had that capability and charisma to pull you in, whether you hate him or whether you loved him.
Exactly. Eddie had some magic that just is unmatched even today. Oh, and yeah. He's Dom Mysterio's true father, so his son is still wrestling.
Dang it, I was gonna run with that joke. We're gonna talk about his daughter, Saul Guerrero, who's third generation, and who actually is married to Aiden English. But I was also gonna honorably mention Dominic, because come on, dude, that mullet, everything. Him coming out with the low ride or something, that's just amazing.
Yes.
But that's a good way to honor Eddie, though. A lot of people want to crap on Dominic. We'll put Dominic as like an honorable Guerrero, but I love, like, not only the tributes to Eddie, but the tributes to Lucha Libre in general.
Yes.
Because
everybody has an Eddie tribute, just about, it seems.
Yeah, but not many people know the rich history of Lucha Libre. Mind you, Dominic's real dad is Rey Mysterio.
Right.
He's like the Lucha wrestler of all time. But, Dominic, he's one that keeps, like, the true history of Lucha Libre alive, just on his tributes and stuff. And he's another person that you love to hate, but you kind of like him at the same time. He's got a little bit of that Eddie charisma to him.
I think so, and I believe that he is a future world champion. Maybe not, maybe in a couple of years, but
I mean, technically, he is a heavyweight champion.
Well, that's fair. He's got the AAA champion, the Mega Campeon.
That is true. That is the heavyweight championship down there, and a lot of people had that championship. So you can technically say he is a heavyweight champion, but I get what you're saying, either the world title or the WWE title. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a little bit. We're just talking about the Guerreros here. I'll go more deep with the Guerreros on the history of pro wrestling Wednesday. So we're coming back with that. We're just filling out little teasers because I want CZ's input. Yes, I value his input. Contrary to popular belief.
Well, I appreciate that.
No, I mean, you're my co-host. You're my best friend. Of course, I love your input. Well, I don't know after the top 10 later. I don't know about that, but yeah, that's just a little bit of the rundown of the Guerrero family. Again, honorable mention Dominic. He's not really Guerrero, but we're going to honorably mention him. But let's talk about Chavo for just a minute now. I want to go back to him, Chavo Jr. It's kind of cool what he's doing now. He's actually working in Hollywood.
Yes.
And he's worked, if I'm not mistaken, he worked on the TV show Glow, which is on Netflix, and he also worked on the Iron Claw, which he appeared as the original Sheik at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
So Chavo's doing pretty well for himself. You can't give. A lot of people was like, well, Chavo was kind of overshadowed by Eddie. I was like, well, Chavo came into his own. A
He's
lot.
definitely doing a lot better than Kerwin White is doing right now.
Oh my God, no, not that gimmick. Oh,
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
Why? Why did you bring that gimmick up? Oh, if you guys don't know what that is, just no, I'm not discussing it here. Just go Google it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Did they come out with a figure of him?
I don't know. I'd have to do some
I
research.
gotta look now. Well, that's just a little bit about the Guerrero family. If you want to hear more, check out Wednesday. I'll do a little bit of a more deep dive into it. But CZ, I'm going to take the steering wheel for just a second because guess what? It's time for this day in history. This day in history, back in the 70s, Bob Backlund defeated superstar Billy Graham to win the WWF Heavyweight Championship, which was a pretty big deal. I know a lot of people want to laugh at Bob Backlund, but back then, he was a serious competitor.
Yes. He wasn't always the ridiculous person that he became in WWE, WWF at the time. He may have gone a little crazy, had some ridiculous feuds with Brett and the likes, but he's a serious competitor. He was one of the longest title reigns on that belt, the championship, correct?
If I'm not mistaken, yes. Let me get some semantics pulled up here. Give me just a second. But yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be obviously his first title win. He
Right.
got it multiple times, but him defeating someone like the superstar Billy Graham, and not many people know this. Bob Backlund's not a big guy. He's, especially compared to the people back in the day, he was actually kind of small.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. Just to look at how they were able to, excuse me, to present him in a way. So he won it. He was champion. He held the WWF Championship from 1976 to 1984, and then of course he won it in the 90s, which Diesel put that to an end in a house show in Madison Square Garden. But he held the title on 2 occasions. His title reign lasted 2,135 days as the second longest reigning champion in history.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, especially from what the likes was. Who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Sheiky Baby, Iron Sheik, that defeated him, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
Hang on, let's look here. Yeah, I'm cheating today, folks.
Hey, we've already talked about this. If you're not cheating, you're not
right. Exactly. So if I'm not mistaken, because he had matches with Hogan, believe it or not, in 81. Let's see. Yep, because due to Backlund's injury, because he had an injury during that time. It was Sheik, and his manager Arnold. I can't pronounce his last. I think it's Scotland, Skaaland. If I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. Threw in the towel on him. So technically, Bob Backlund didn't tap out, but Backlund was also suffering from a back injury. So, due to that back injury, Hogan took over, and we ended up getting,
Yes.
Yeah. Hogan's reign of terror. There we go. That's what I was trying to say, brother. Sorry.
And Hogan must pose. So
Hogan must pose. But yeah, that's it's awesome to think about when you go back and look at this stuff, especially with history, to see who the champions really were, and it's really cool. Oh, okay, who the heck put that? Really?
It wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't me, I promise.
Whatever. Anywho, yes, you got to Google stuff in order to do research, so shut up. But with Bob Backlund, man, I mean, he ended up being a nut in the end.
Yep.
And maybe that match had something to do with it. I don't know if Sheik had him in the camel clutch for too long. But...
And that's what everybody's going to remember him for, unfortunately, is his lunacy later on in life. And Unfortunately, while it doesn't completely erase his historic title reign, it definitely lessens its value because of where they put him. And it shouldn't.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But, 2,000 plus days, you can't really argue with that, man.
Right.
Especially from back then. All right, CZ. Are you ready? Go ahead and put it up there. Throw that graphic up there. The Wizards top 10 Intercontinental Champions. Oh my gosh.
Now, I will preface this. It's a mix of modern and legends.
Okay.
And part of my criteria, I looked at length of title reigns.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at number of title reigns. So that being said, that's kind of where, and I also, so the length of title reigns more, I looked more at the combined days than the individual title reigns.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. All right. God, you're going to make this challenge. I got a pen and paper here. That way I can keep track of, we ain't going in any particular order, I'm guessing, are we?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll let you know where they fall on my list when you get one.
That way I can write it down. And for those watching, see if you guys get it right or, whatever. And or tell us who your top 10 or top 5 Intercontinental Champions are in the comments below. I'd love to read them. All right.
Definitely leave the comments on who your top Intercontinental Champions are. Love to hear back from fans.
Absolutely. All right. So, okay, I want to say, since you're talking about length and reign, Honky Tonk Man has to be on there, right?
He is number 4.
Oh, wow. That's pretty high on the list, man.
And the reason he is at number 4 is because of that length. He was for the longest time the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion.
Yep. And overlooked, sadly.
Yes.
Let's see. Tom's help. Jericho is number 1. Aha, there we go.
So I'm a Jerichoholic, and I will be probably till the day I die. I know some of his recent work has not been his greatest. The Learning Tree, I'm looking at you.
But
please God, if we can never have that again. But most title reigns for the Intercontinental Championship, and even though they were short reigns, he only had the combined days of I couldn't find an exact number. It was between 300 and 315 or what I found. Days.
All right. So those were obvious too. That automatically popped in my head when you were mentioning your ruling there. I got to think here. Well, hang on. Let me do this. Let's go back a little bit here to the very first one. Pat Patterson.
Pat Patterson is number 5.
Okay.
Of course, Pat has to be on the list as the very first Intercontinental Champion.
That one, the tournament in Rio de Janeiro. What's up with wrestling in Rio de Janeiro when it comes to
it's a hot spot.
It's a hot spot for tournaments, apparently.
Yeah. When I have my wrestling company in place and I have the tournament for my heavyweight champion, it's going to be in Rio.
Where are we going to get the money?
Hey, I didn't say how I'm going to make it happen. I just said when it happens.
Oh my gosh. You're on one tonight, bro. All right. So we got Chris Jericho at 1, Honky Tonk Man at 4, Pat Patterson at 5. Well, we mentioned him earlier. Do you have Eddie on your list?
Eddie is not on my list.
Wow. That's kind of
he should be. But I had a soft spot for some of the other people that are on there.
Okay.
Eddie would probably be one of 3 honorable mentions.
Okay, so I'll put an honorable mention list down here. Because, when I think Intercontinental Champions, Eddie is definitely one of those people, personally, to me. Especially during the Mullet era, whenever he came back and had that, what was it? The ladder match with RVD on Raw.
Yes.
Perfect match.
And his time with China when he held the Intercontinental Championship.
Coincidentally, Jericho and China had is China on this list?
She is not.
Wow, okay. Now that I think about it, we're talking about China. I guess not. Wow, okay. Say greatest Intercontinental Champions. Is Miz on here?
He is. Miz is number 3.
Dang, that's pretty high on your list.
Well, I'm a big Miz mark, so I think he's the most underrated persona in WWE, in my opinion, because he's great on the mic. He's safe and he's good in the ring. And excuse me, he's held that Intercontinental Championship 8 times. So my question there, though, is should Mr. Jericho make his way back to WWE? Do they give Miz another Intercontinental Championship reign and have those two fight it out to be the best Intercontinental Champion?
That'd be a great storyline.
I think it would too.
That would be a great storyline, I think. Especially
I won't take credit for that. I will give credit to my tag team partner Nick Bull on that one, but
that actually would be a great one. It set it up for, I wouldn't say Mania, but maybe a SummerSlam.
Maybe a SummerSlam, okay.
That would be good. I can see that definitely. You said it was a mix of legends and modern, right? Of course, because we got Miz on here now. No, well, Dolph Ziggler?
No.
No Dolph, okay.
No Dolph. I wouldn't even put him in honorable mention just because I like the names that I have on here more. And that's not to discredit Dolph Ziggler. He was fantastic, great Intercontinental Champion, did a lot of good work with it. He just wasn't on my radar when I picked the list today.
Right, when you think of Intercontinental Champion. Oh, Bret Hart.
Oh, Bret Hart is for sure on here. He is number 8.
Wow. You put Bret low on the list. Canada's not going to be happy with you, pal.
Well, he's on the list, so they should at least thank me for that.
So he's 8, you said?
Yes. And, you can't go wrong with Bret Hart. He has to make the list because he's Bret Hart.
And plus that Mania match with him and Piper.
Yes.
Perfect.
100%.
Now, I wouldn't include Piper on this list because he won it one time. And it's kind of forgetful. I hate saying it like that.
That's true. I will tell you there is two individuals. No, hold on. There are 2 individuals. No, 3. I'm sorry. 3 individuals that have 1 title reign.
But it's
you guessed 2 of them.
Rick Rude.
Rick Rude is not on the list.
Wow. Really?
You've got 2 of them who are on the list, Pat Patterson and the Honky Tonk Man.
Okay.
So I'll throw that out there.
Well, I'm surprised Rick Rude's not on there.
He definitely could have been too. This is why these lists are so hard, is because there's so many great names you can put on a list like this. I think it's why, I mentioned doing the Mount Rushmore thing with Nick.
Well,
I think that's why we didn't do anymore after that. It's because it's just so hard and subjective.
Right. Well, this is kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Rob Van Dam.
No.
Wow. That is kind of shocking.
I'm not the biggest Rob Van Dam fan. I don't dislike him. He's a good wrestler. He's entertaining. He's just not really high on my list of people that I gravitate towards.
Would you say an honorable mention, though?
I would give him an honorable mention.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, goodness gracious. You're making my head spin here. Owen Hart.
I did not have Owen, unfortunately, and that's an oversight on my part because he is definitely someone who should be on this list.
Yeah, I've seen that. No, I was going to say Road Dogg, but no, that's a no. Not many people remember that he had a Intercontinental title reign. Did we lose CZ? All right, so we got here. I want to name who we got so far. We got Chris Jericho, The Miz, Honky Tonk Man, Pat Patterson, Bret Hart. You're not making this easy. Ultimate Warrior.
Warrior's not on my list either.
Okay, that was a shot in the dark. But Randy Savage.
Believe it or not, Randy is not on here either.
Wow.
And I love Macho Man.
I mean, you're on another podcast with his illegitimate son. Well, depends on who you talk to. Some people say he's Macho Man's son. Some other people say he's Eugene's son. So, So Macho Man is out. Randy Orton.
No.
Wow, that's shocking.
I will tell you this.
Okay, keep it. All right, so
You're halfway through, and I will preface this.
Okay.
There's only one modern day wrestler left on the list.
Only one. Wow.
Yes.
Oh. Kofi?
Nope.
No Kofi. Modern wrestler. Gunther.
It's Gunther. He's number 2.
Whoa.
I was channeling Never Wrong Nick Bull with that pick.
Okay, explain.
Nick is the biggest Gunther mark I know.
Well, he's no longer welcome to the Joe Monroe. I'm kidding. Nick's
he would call himself a homer for Gunther.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so we got our top 5 at least. We got Jericho at 1, Gunther at 2, Miz at 3, Honky Tonk Man at 4, Pat Patterson at 5. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have Bret Hart at 8. How dare you score down the Hitman that low, sir? All right, so
you'll understand why I think with 6 and 7 when you get them.
Okay, but the rest are legends.
Yes,
the rest are legends. Ooh, man, that's tough. Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is number 7.
Okay.
Of course, I can't leave Shawn Michaels off the list. I am a big Shawn Michaels fan, and WrestleMania 10. I don't think I need to say anything more than that.
What's that white strap? He was the one that kind of brought that out too.
Yes,
that was beautiful. I still think it's beautiful.
Best Intercontinental Champion design there ever was.
And that's the one Cody brought back.
Yep.
I'm surprised you don't have Cody on this list.
Yeah.
You said legends, so I automatically know he's not on it.
Right. I thought about Cody, but no, there were a couple people that I thought were more deserving.
Okay. So I love how you have Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart together. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
6, 7, and 8 are all on purpose.
Triple H?
No.
Wow, okay.
His nose is too big to be on this list.
We'll talk about that later. Okay. Okay, gosh. So I got 3 more. Bulldog.
No.
Wow. Okay.
But I'll give him an honorable mention for the match in '92 at Wembley.
Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see. Legends. Ooh, you're making me think here, pal.
Want another hint?
Hang on. Yeah, let's use a phone hint.
Okay. The 3 remaining, none of them are with us any longer.
Fuck, that don't narrow it down.
Well,
but hang on.
My math on that.
Hang on. So none of them are with us anymore. Oh, okay.
I need to double check. I need to fact check that.
Okay.
No, I am incorrect.
1 is still with us.
1 is still with us.
Okay. Wait, was Don Morocco ever Intercontinental Champion?
Yes, he was. He had 2 title reigns, 541 days total. He is number 10. And the reason he made this list is because he carried that Intercontinental Championship when WWF left the NWA.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Don Morocco. All right. The original Rock. Oh, The Rock?
No, I would give him an honorable mention too, though.
What about Steve Austin?
Steve Austin is not on the list.
No.
Love him to death, but...
Yeah, where he had his neck injury, that kind of kaput the Intercontinental title reign.
Yeah.
But it is awesome that he is mentioned as an Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, for sure.
6, 7, and 8's on purpose. Okay. So there's a connection between Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and this next person.
Well, there's a connection between it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, we'll say. They're connected, but not like directly connected, all three of them. One connects to the other.
I don't know if he's on your list, but I'm just going to say it because this actually happened one time. Marty Jannetty.
We're done. We're done. I'm out of here. No. That
Come
coward is not on my list.
I knew it.
Brought him up, and his cowardice for jumping through that window to escape Shawn Michaels.
Hey. But no, there's something in history not many people know. Marty Jannetty actually is technically a Intercontinental Champion.
Correct.
Just like him and Shawn technically won the tag team championships from the Hart Foundation, but they took them off of him for some stupid reason.
Because it's best for business or something.
All right. So I get God.
Number 6 and number 9.
I know, but you're making me think harder now. Godfather ain't on this list, is he?
Nope.
Okay. Dang, dude, this is a good list. Not arguing with this list at all. Dang. Who's the connection more indirect to? Shawn or Brett?
Shawn.
Tatanka?
Nope.
Wait, no, he didn't win the Intercontinental title. No, that's not right. No, what did he? No, what?
Not that I remember.
No. Okay, why did I got to thinking of Mania, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon is number 6.
I want to kick myself in the butt for that.
Him and Shawn had 2 of the best ladder matches in history.
Yep, Mania and at SummerSlam, the rematch.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got one more, number 9. Okay, you got to give me a hint here.
He is someone who should have been a world champion in WWF.
I would have said Razor Ramon on that guess, or Piper, but oh God. 80s or 90s?
Little of both. Early 90s.
Early 90s, okay. Early 90s are Texas Tornado?
No, good call out. I would give him an honorable mention as well.
Okay, on Eric. Yep. Hey, who yes was an Intercontinental Champion? Oh God.
You're gonna kick yourself when you get
myself over the Razor Ramon answer because I should have got that right off the bat. Oh God, number 9. Give me one more hint.
All right. His finishing move was a specific type of suplex.
Suplex. Mr. Perfect. God.
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah,
Mr. Hennig had 2 title reigns for a combined 406 days.
So I want to kick myself over those last 2 because I should have got those.
I'll also throw out a honorable mention to Pedro Morales, who almost made the list.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the fact that Don Morocco carried the title from when they departed from the NWA was a little more historic than Pedro's reigns.
All right, so I'm getting this list typed out here so the folks here who are watching can see it. So I probably misspelled a lot of these. So, wow. So Razor Ramon. I should have guessed that one because of Shawn Michaels. And you know, that is, I see where you did with that because both him and Shawn, him and Brett were New Generation. So,
right.
And I don't know, would you say Mr. Perfect's New Generation?
I see Perfect as more of a golden era. How do I want to put this? he's kind of a crossover between the golden era and the new generation, in my opinion.
How you spell? I probably misspelled Morocco. Hang on.
Muroco. Oh, or Muraco. Sorry, ACO.
So I did spell it right. Okay. So we're going to add this. Here we go. Here's the list right here for those that are watching. Chris Jericho at 1, Gunther at 2, The Miz at 3, Honky Tonk Man at 4, Pat Patterson at 5, Razor Ramon at 6, Steven Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart at 8, Mr. Perfect at 9, and The Rock Don Morocco at 10. That is the Wizards' top 10 Intercontinental Champions. God almighty, that was more time consuming than what I thought it was going to be, but it was fun. So
I enjoyed that. I thought that was a good segment. I enjoyed kind of.
We'll have to do, if you guys want more of the Wizards top 10, let us know in the comments below, because that was challenging. I got a few off the bat, but it took me 1 minute to finish off that list. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's look at the indie moments. This is a good segment for the show where we're going to look at independent wrestling promotions that are upcoming. Some this weekend, some in the future. And CZ, you already have one in store for us. What do we have bringing up here?
I do. So this Saturday here in the Quad City area, Bluegrass, Iowa, we have SCW Pro presents Heartbreak. The two gentlemen on the flyer are Shane Hollister and Matt Mayday. And Shane Hollister has put his career on the line if he loses.
Ooh, okay. Well, next I have one here. UPW Pro, United Pro Wrestling, Winter Warfare coming up. Looks like they are going to be Sunday, February 22nd, National Guard Armory over in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Go check it out. You may see some familiar faces that I have run into in my past, which is Randall Shane and Brandon Wolf. There's a lot of great wrestlers out there. Go check them out. And actually, we have a fan submission. Our very first fan submission here. This is coming all the way from Adam Hensley in Virginia. The Thomas Walker Rumble. This is going to be Saturday, March 7th, bell time at 7 p.m. at the Thomas Walker High School in Ewing, Virginia. Go check it out. They got Juventud Guerrero. They got a lot of great wrestlers coming out there. Go check him out. Honestly, that's not too bad. That's kind of cool. That old Hoovy there is going to appear, and he's actually going to appear on the show real quick. Okay, there goes Hoovy. All right. Valentine's Day gift from the wife. All right. So there's the indie moments. So if you have an independent promotion you guys want to highlight, send it to the Joe Monroe Show on Facebook or at our email. I'll leave it in the comments below. That way you can email that. Please no spam mail. If there's spam mail, you automatically get blocked. All right, CZ, let's go to the modern stuff. You want to hit us with some WWE news?
Oh, yeah. So we have a new Clash coming in Italy this year.
Oh, God.
Which, talk about that in a moment. They also, and I got to pull it up to see when this is, they announced another one today.
What?
Yes. The Clash of Champions on June 27th from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so hang on. Here's my problem with this, and we'll get into the question that I asked you when we were talking about this the other day. This is Clash at the Champions. This is I include the clashes like at the castle and stuff like that into this as well. I want to give brownie points to them trying to make it a like European tour type ordeal,
right?
Or like an overseas ordeal. But Clash at the Champions, that was a WCW thing, man. Come on. You can't really. I mean, I said it before live. I think if they're going to sell eventually, if TKO is not liking it, they'll probably end up selling to Saudi Arabia anyways, which I guess kudos to them. But, you know, I don't know. That's how I feel. Let me ask you this. Do you think the overseas stuff hurts them or helps them?
I think it's hit and miss. Overall, I'm going to say it helps them.
Okay.
And here's why. When I watch a show, I enjoy it more if the crowd is into what's going on in the venue. And I'll preface it this way. We in America are spoiled because we get this pretty much on a daily basis.
Yeah, basically.
And the WWE tours America, consistently all the time. That's where their home is. That's where the heart of it is. These overseas crowds don't get these big shows very often. So I will shout out to Backlash in France from a few years ago. I will shout out to Clash in Paris, those two particularly.
Mm-hmm. Backlash in Puerto Rico was good too.
Yes. Backlash in Puerto Rico was fantastic.
Which I guess Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so I guess it's technically United States, not really overseas. But hey, Puerto Rico, I mean, there's a lot of rich wrestling history. There's actually a lot of rich wrestling history in France too. Other countries, I know England, and that'd be about it. Maybe Germany. There's a lot of wrestling history there. I'm not too familiar with Italy or anywhere else. Saudi Arabia is catching up. So.
Here's the thing. I don't want to dog Saudi too much. I get that it's all blood money and they're just doing it for the paycheck.
Right.
But their crowds haven't been bad up until the Rumble. And I don't think the Rumble crowd was bad. I think the problem there was it was an open air stadium. And when you don't have a roof on an arena or a stadium, it muffles the sound.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But, I mean, if I get what they're doing, they're doing their own thing, but I don't know. I like to see a clash, like a true, like WCW Clash of the Champions, or, what I really want to see? You're going to call me crazy. I want to see Battle Bowl come out.
Okay.
For those that don't know what Battle Bowl is, that's where they had two rings. It was kind of set up. Think of it like War Games, but with Royal Rumble rules. Throw your opponent out, they go to the next ring, and when they go out the next ring, they're completely out. And the last two men that are left standing end up facing each other, and maybe they become a number one contender or something. I don't know. But yeah.
If we're going to bring back Battle Bowl, can we bring back the Lethal Lottery Tag Tournament?
That's really not a bad idea. Because I said this before, tag wrestling in the modern era. Well, I wouldn't say AEW is having that issue. We'll get to AEW here in a minute. But I would say, especially WWE, they need to do something with their tag teams.
Yes, very, very much so.
Yeah. Well, speaking of AEW, this is something you got really excited for when I brought this up, because I know you got a lot to say about this. AEW Spotlight, Ciampa in AEW. Now, for those that don't know or have been living under a rock, Tommaso Ciampa debuted in AEW a few weeks ago, and literally like 2 or 3 days later, faced one of his biggest rivals he had in Ring of Honor for the TNT title, which was Mark Briscoe, and won.
Yes, very much. I was super excited for that.
Exciting, but here's the thing. Wouldn't it have been a little bit smarter to build that up since you had a pay-per-view coming up in Australia?
I can agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Build it up a little bit, and I will see your build it up, and I will counter it with, don't take the belt off him 2 weeks later. If you want Kyle Fletcher to have the belt, great. But why put it on Ciampa for a week and a half and then only for him to lose it? And I'll go even further. We did not need to see Fletcher and Briscoe for the 7th time right now.
Yeah, that's something I don't get, man, because I don't know if it was like in a contract agreement or what the deal was, but I'm a big Tommaso Ciampa fan. Always have been.
I am too.
I mean, when he was the NXT champion, my God, he was like the biggest heel that WWE had. He was one of the main reasons I wanted to watch NXT, especially that no holds barred match he had with Gargano.
Oh,
that which one I'm talking? I think it was in New Orleans, right?
Sounds right.
Either New Orleans or Philly, I can't remember. But those, my gosh, I'm like, this is what I want to see more of. Why can't we have that on like a bigger scale?
Gargano and Ciampa are one of my favorite tag teams.
Mhm.
And they had, in my opinion, the greatest rivalry in NXT.
Yeah, they did. And they were a pretty decent tag team, too. The thing I hate, and this happens all the time, I'm going to go back, harp on WWE a little bit. You had Tommaso Ciampa. I know he's got neck problems and stuff, but please don't make him like a Miz lackey or something. That was so stupid.
Yes.
That ticked me off. I'm like, really? You have someone who is basically a psycho, which he ended up being Psycho Killer in this, but he's crazy. Why would you stick him with the Miz? That doesn't make any sense. I mean,
it does in WWE world, and here's why. I don't like it. I'm not saying I like it, so don't mistake me there. WWE will take the most vicious and lethal competitors and turn them into fluff.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Bushwhackers.
Well, not even Bushwhackers. What was his name? The Russian dude in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Vladimir Kozlov?
Kozlov. Yeah, Kozlov.
Brought him in as a threat, then, well, look what ended up happening eventually.
Yes.
Oh, boy. But, I thought it was too soon than them actually taking the belt off of him real quick. What was the point in that? What was the build-up? I mean, Tommaso Ciampa is someone, to me, it would be a big name to bring in, even on an AEW scale.
Yes.
Even if you put him in your mid-card title scene, build that up. Have him probably be a thorn. Here's how I would do it. I'd have him be the thorn in Briscoe's side the whole time he's having this rivalry with Fletcher again. Then, honestly, I would have Fletcher lose to Briscoe. That way Briscoe could have won. And that's when Tommaso would, end up striking.
Yeah. Build that. So they had the Grand Slam in Australia. Mm-hmm. They've got Revolution coming up in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Build that match between Briscoe and Ciampa for Revolution.
Yeah. So I would still have Ciampa come out for a tease.
Yep.
Because that was a great debut. Have him come out with a tease, have him look at that belt, then have him say, I know Fletcher's facing you in Australia, but come Revolution, that title is mine.
Yeah.
And, so on and so forth. Make him have a few squash matches with people. Build him up
as the psycho killer that he is.
Yes. Build him up. That way, when we get to Revolution, we get to see that even if it's a regular match, it's still going to be a tough freaking brawl.
Yes.
So I wouldn't have. I know what Tony's doing. He's trying to do fan service, which that's okay. I get it. But if you want to make something special, build that bad boy up.
And that's been one of my biggest gripes with AEW, especially lately, is they don't have any long-term plans.
Well, that's not just AEW anymore. It's any mainstream wrestling that you watch today. There's hardly any build-up. There's hardly any chasers going after champions.
Yeah.
And if they are chasers, it's like a 2-week chase, and they either win it too soon or they, you just blow the whole story out of proportion within that 2-week period. But
I get it. It's not 1986. We're sitting on a truckload of wrestling more than we had. We're not going 4 months between pay-per-views,
right?
Where they have time to build that. But still, you can
build them up.
Yeah. I mean, probably the best two things that WWE has done build-wise in recent history was the Bloodline storyline and Cody.
Well, I think Cody...
Here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. I think it meant more Cody winning the title at 40 than it would have meant at 39. So I agree with the decision that he lost there, only to come back stronger the next year.
Yeah, that I can agree with, but after that, got old.
I mean, did Cody need to win the Rumble 2 years in a row? Probably not. But what do I know? I'm just
we're just wrestling fans, right?
Exactly.
We're just podcasting wrestling fans. All right. Well, this is a good episode back, man. I'm happy that we had this episode. A lot of people are probably going to be happy we had this episode come out. Yes, it is pre-recorded. We're going to start doing these shows pre-recorded. We're not doing them live. We might do one every now and again. You never know. Never know when we might pop a round table in and might have some good friends with us. But, CZ, remind the people where they can find you at.
Absolutely. You can find me personally on socials at the Wizard CZ, but I am the co-host of several different podcasts outside of the Joe Monroe Show. I am all over the place, but the two big ones, Card Subject to Change every Sunday. Well, most Sundays at 6:30, depending on the time of year. 6:30 Central Time, which that is at CSTC Podcast. You can also find me on my fitness accountability show with my good buddy Zach Takis. That is Wrestling with Fitness. That's the last Wednesday of every month. So that's coming up next week. So super excited for that.
Woohoo! Yeah. A lot of stuff happening next week. All right. Well, speaking of next Wednesday, we have a brand new episode of the History of Pro Wrestling where we're going to be talking about the Guerrero family. Next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about wrestling dynasties, not only on Wednesdays, but on here. And if you guys like the format we got going on, we are a little more structured, I think. Thank goodness. And it's awesome to hear CZ talk more.
Well, I mean, that depends on your perspective. I used to tell people I have a face for newspaper, or a face for radio and a voice for newspaper.
Man, I love doing these. All right. I am Joe Monroe. This has been the one and only Wizard CZ. We will see you all next week.